welcome back to Stitching Ewe and More. Thank you for returning guest. If you're new, if you're catching me new this week, thanks for finding me, hopping over and watching. I'm your host, Amanda. I'm also known as Little Panda 518 on Ravelry and also on Instagram. Feel free to jump over there and follow me there. I normally post a bunch of pictures there. We have a Ravelry group, which is Stitching Ewe and More podcast. So that's kind of all the places you can find me online right now. I'm also on YouTube. That's how probably most of y'all are finding me. It's still set up to my personal name, so I think it's like Amanda Panda 518 is my YouTube channel. I'm working on getting that changed over to Stitching Ewe and More, so I'm a little bit easier to find on YouTube. And you can also find my blog that also hosts all my show notes at Stitching Ewe and More, and that's Stitching EWE and more.blogspot.com. So yeah, feel free, follow me everywhere, one place, whatever you want to do. So that's kind of that part. I kind of want to start off by apologizing for not recording last week. I know I talked on my second episode, or the first one, that I've kind of been having some health issues, and last week I just wasn't feeling that great, so I'll just bring you a better episode this week. So thanks for coming back around. I was trying to write out my show notes, and then I fell asleep like halfway writing them, so I've got to figure out what I wrote. So yeah, Ravelry group, it's Stitching Ewe and More. I just stated that. Hop over there, start your own thread, chat it up. I'm on there quite a bit, so feel free to private message me if you want, if you have questions. I did start a thread in the Ravelry group to ask me questions. I always like watching and getting to know more of like the personal aspects of some of the podcasts that I watch. So feel free to ask me anything. I'll jump in and answer it on my next podcast. Let's see. Oh, and you can also find me on Facebook. It is under a different name though. It's Stitched Together 4G is my page. And I think I talked about this in episode 1, where we have a little family kind of oriented business where it's the 4 generations of us from my grandma down to my niece. And we all knit and crochet, and we'll occasionally do a couple booths throughout the year. So, you know, don't feel obliged to buy anything, but if you want to see the creations that we're working on, feel free to head over to Facebook and like us there. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and kind of just get started off with my FOs this week. You know, being it's been about 2 weeks since I've talked with y'all, I've got a little bit done. I've spent a lot of time on the couch, laying on the heating pad, and so that's kind of allowed me to get a lot of time with my yarn, which I've quite enjoyed. I'm going to start off with this one. You guys haven't seen this one before. I finished this one a while back. It's just a little triangle, little shawlette. Let me take it off real quick here so you can kind of see more of the shape. It's just a generic triangle little shawlette, and then I have it tied in the back. This is something super simple. I love it. It's my favorite color. I use like the big blue hook, crochet hook that you can get from like any craft store. I think it's like a Q or something like that. So this worked up real fast. This is by my dear friend Love Knots, Rachel over at Love Knots. This is her thick and thin hand spun. I love her. I love her products. It's so squishy. Love it. So that's kind of, I figured every once in a while I'll just bring by an FO that I finished previously that you guys have never saw. I mean, like I stated in episode 1, I made over 130 things last year. Now I don't have a lot of those because we did sell those at some events, but some of the finished objects that I kept for myself, I will gladly show y'all. I'm sure you can see them on Instagram and Facebook too, but I'll just highlight a couple of my favorites that I hung on to. So the first little thing that you guys did see before is the little monster guy. This is a design by Rachel over at Love Knots, and I test crocheted it for her, and she's gonna release the pattern here probably within the next couple weeks on Ravelry and her Etsy page. So it's just a cute little guy, little monster with some honking feet, and I kind of like the dolls that don't have faces. I don't know if that's just me being weird, or, you know, if kids play with them, it gives them the imagination. They can use their imagination and figure out what mood their little monster guy's in. So I don't think the pattern calls for like a little felt face across here. Well, I didn't have any felt, and I just kind of like him with the beady eyes. I think he's super cute. Oh, gotta go this way. So he's a little monster guy. I personally do a lot of my stuffies in Red Heart just because it's an acrylic and it'll hold up to just about anything. So I don't know the exact colorway name, but it's teal. It was my favorite color, so figured since I'm test knitting it, I'll just make him for me. I've been thinking about taking him to work and setting him on my desk so I can look at him every once in a while. But right now my desk is covered in pandas, and I still have like a tote of panda stuff here because I share an office and I didn't want to like overwhelm them, so I only took a couple. So I don't know, I may add him to my little collection at work. That's my first finished object. My second one, actually I'm going to talk about him a little bit later because he goes with another part. If I keep looking down, I have my show notes on the table. It's still pretty early in the morning for me. My husband was out of town for the weekend visiting some family, so I figured I would try and record before he got home. Let's see. So my whips, let's figure out what bag this is. Okay, so my whip I've been working on, y'all have seen this before. It's also in my Rainstorm Studio bag. I'll get this directional thing down here pretty soon. So that was my custom bag from Rainstorm. She is marvelous to work with, and I'll talk about her a little bit later as well. So this is my TVG shawl by Susan Ashcroft. It is a paid pattern. Last time y'all saw this, I was probably only about an inch into the ribbing. Let me get a little closer here. And last time I measured, I'm about I just hit about the 3-inch mark in the ribbing. And this is gonna need some massive blocking. It's getting decently long here in the middle. I probably have roughly about 2 more inches of ribbing and I'll be done. Like I said, this is it was supposed to be a Christmas present for my sister, and I worked on getting stuff done for my 5 nieces and nephews, and this project kind of got set aside, so I'm like, it's okay, it'll be a birthday present. And then I didn't work on it a whole lot in January, and then I looked at the calendar and I'm like, holy cow, it's February already. Today's February 8th that I'm recording. I'll probably get this posted on YouTube and whatnot on the 9th. If I have some time, I'll try to get it uploaded tonight. Today's my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Nevin, even though I know you don't watch. But I'll just shout that out there, so if I have other family watching, I didn't forget Nevin's birthday. But that brings me to my sister's birthday is in 8 days. Her birthday is February 16th. So, and you know, she lives in Illinois, I live in Arkansas. So I have to get this done in time to get it shipped. Hoping I can do that. If not, sis, your birthday present's gonna be late. This is my first ever purchase of like yummy scrumptious yarn that I bought this was my first trip to my local yarn shop too. It is Done Roving yarn, Frolicking Feet in the Autumn Bliss colorway. It's a hand-painted yarn out of Maine. It's super squishy. It's a fingering weight yarn. The colorway is Autumn Bliss. My sister's favorite color is orange, and as soon as I saw this yarn, I knew it had to be something for her. So, it's so squishy. My little ball, my center line ball is getting very flimsy and squishy, so that means I'm one step closer to getting done. Here we go. I knew I had the tag for it. So their tags are nice and colorful too. And it is a superwash merino, so it's something that she can easily wash and dry. I'm sure with 5 little kidlets, she'll have something spilled on it in no time. So that is, this has gotten most of my attention this week. Well, the past 2 weeks pretty much. Besides my other FO that I'm going to show y'all here in a little bit, because I really need to get this done. So he's hanging out over there. Let's see, what else? I did do a little bit of spinning this week. Not a whole lot, but it's in one of the bags that I made. I doubt y'all be able to see any of the progress that I made, but I did make a little bit of progress. Let me see if I can get this up here. I don't know how well you can see that. It's kind of like a caramely, like brown color. It was some fiber that I was given by my friend over at Southern Girl Knits, Tish Knits. And she's letting me borrow one of her spindles, so I'm hoping once I get my tax return in that I'm going to go spoil myself and buy a spindle of my own so I can give hers back. But I'm loving this. This weekend at Knit Group, I've been having some problems with drafting the fiber, and so when I was at Knit Group this past Saturday, one of the other ladies had brought her wheel to the coffee shop, and so she was sitting there spinning on her wheel in this beautiful, gorgeous, exploding TARDIS colorway fiber. And so we got to talking about drafting, and she kind of showed me some other ways to pre-draft and just kind of get the fiber to work with me a little bit more, because since I started, like, I've always felt like I've been fighting the fiber, and she showed me a couple other ways to try. So I'm going to definitely work on those and try to get a lot more spun this week if I have some time. So I've got a little bit of spinning. I've been working on my design some more. I showed you guys a sneak peek last time. It's hiding out in my Love and Life Little Panda bag that I made, and I showed y'all this last time too, but it's the little wooden panda that I found at Joann's. So I'm gonna wait to show you guys the finished shawl because I think it's gonna be super awesome. So my design's hanging out in my little design project bag. So I've got that working on, because you know, designing a pattern or two was one of my goals for this year. So I'm definitely on my way with working on that shawl. Being it's my first design, I haven't decided if I'm going to release it for free or just do like a couple dollars for the pattern. But with y'all sticking around with me and enjoying my podcast, I may do a thread in the Ravelry group. And if I do decide to make it a pay-for pattern, I'll probably give a couple patterns away for free over in Ravelry. So I will definitely let you guys know about that first on the podcast here before I announce it out on Facebook and all that, so y'all kind of have first dibs with that. I'm going to also talk about, that's kind of my knitting and crocheting works in progresses and stuff. I kind of want to talk about some events. I just a couple months ago got asked to be on the board for the Arkansas Fiber Fest. So that's kind of something new that I've picked up, and I've been really enjoying it so far. So I'm helping plan the event. I'm helping out with the website, the social media, all that fun stuff. That's kind of my passion, is the social media stuff. So that event is going to be in September. It's September 17th through 19th of this fall. It's going to be in Hot Springs, Kansas. So if you're here local or just want a weekend trip to drive in, fly in, whatever, it's going to be pretty awesome. We've got some amazing things planned. We're not releasing a whole lot of information because we're still trying to tie down some last minute odds and ends and get things planned out before we start releasing like our keynote speaker and all of that. But as soon as we can release that information, I will definitely be letting y'all know. I know a lot of y'all came over from Southern Girl Knits. She's also another board member, so I've really enjoyed working with her, and I know the closer we get to the event, we'll both be talking about the event a little bit more and just kind of how excited we are with things like that. And so that brings me to my next FO that I had this week. So I'm also a graphic designer. I know I kind of wear a ton of hats, but I designed the logo for the Arkansas Fiber Fest, so you can visit that website at arfiberfest.com. I'll link it in the show notes so y'all can go over there and see. But I designed a little sheep wearing socks. Thought it was super cute and it kind of fits our event. So of course I had to crochet a little sheep to match our logo. So this little guy's name is Eugene, E-W-E-G-E-N-E. So if you see him around, he's going to kind of be our little mascot about the event. He was a paid for pattern, and I have cat hair on the front. Sorry about that. You know, it's not a completed project unless I have cat hair on it, so yeah, that happens in a house when you have 3 cats. But he's super cute. He's a paid pattern out of the book's name is Edward's Menagerie, and it's by Toft. It is a UK design, so that was kind of fun as I was crocheting. Remember to convert from British terms to American terms, but that was fun. I did crochet him in Red Heart because I know he's going to get a lot of use. He'll probably get handled a lot between now and the event, and especially at the event. I'm thinking about doing a fun little project with him at the event, so once we know for sure about that, we'll let you guys know once it gets closer. But he was so much fun to crochet until I got to the fleece part. I don't know if you can definitely tell he's like super fluffy and all that loveliness right there. So you crochet his whole body and then you go back and put this fleece on. And it's a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give a whole lot away, but the fleece part here, all the loopies, that took me longer to crochet than crocheting his head, his body, his arms, and sewing him together. So, and I love it because he has a cute little tail. So there's Mr. Eugene. He's super cute. He's gonna hide back there with my panda named Mandy. And some other events. If you are here local in the Central Arkansas area, we have a knit group that meets in Cabot. Feel free to message me for more information. We meet on Saturdays. Some weeks we meet on Wednesdays too. It just kind of depends on the group schedule. But that's kind of awesome. Love my week's not the same if I don't have a chance to meet up with the knit girls. Well, the knit group girls. So I've got that. Some other things I worked on this week. I was hoping to get a lot more sewing done this week. Well, these last 2 weeks, but I just haven't really had the energy. But I did get some bags cut out, and they are going to be Valentine's Day bags, so I'm hoping to get them sewed up in the next day or 2, but I wanted to show you guys the fabric. So if you want one of these to be yours, I showed I'm going to reach over here real quick. Sorry about going out of frame. Okay, so I showed you guys, this is the kind of what they'll look like. It's the drawstring bag. There we go. So we've got these. This will be the shape, and they'll have different ribbon for drawstring project bag. So I've got some of the fabric that I'm going to work with. So I have the cute little owls with little hearts. That's going to be the outside of the bag. The inside is going to be this cute argyle heart pattern. Just kind of figured those go real well together. Oops, flip the rest of that stack over. And then the second bag choice that I'm going to have is going to be this one that has like postcards and roses and butterflies. Super cute. And I picked these fabrics because even though they are like Valentine related, you can kind of use them throughout the whole year because, you know, they don't state Valentine's Day. And so then the inside of that bag is going to be the awesome pink chevron. So I know chevron's a popular style right now, so those are going to be super cute. I'll post pictures on Instagram and whatnot when they're finished, and I will probably put them up in my shop on Store Envy, which you can find through the Stitch Together 4G Facebook page. Like I said, you don't have to, just kind of wanted to let you know what I'm up to and working on crafty wise. So I've got that, some enhancements to just kind of my crafting world. So I kind of wanted to let you guys know a little bit about those. First of all, I get a lot of patterns off Ravelry. I'm sure like all y'all do too. And sometimes I use a Kindle for the majority of my patterns, like if I'm working on a hat or just kind of a smaller project, working off the Kindle doesn't bother me. But this ebook that I got for Edward's Menagerie, just the way the book is set up, it was a lot easier to print it out. So I was at a big box store and I saw this little binder. Well, it's not little. It fits the regular 8.5 by 11 page. And I figured it'd be perfect. So I keep a set of plastic drawers by my couch in the living room. And so I try to keep most of my stuff in plastic containers because I have cats. Cats and yarn, they love to play with it, run off with it. So I also like to keep all my patterns and stuff protected as well. You know, I'm making my cats seem like they're horrible. They're really not. I'll try to put some pictures in of them. I have 2 little cats. I have Daenerys, which she was named after Game of Thrones. We have, our next oldest is Simba. He got a injury when he was just a couple weeks old, so he's kind of our little special needs kitty. He's gotten a lot better since then though. And then of course we have the fat cat Cow. We've had him since we were in college, and I swear he's like a 25-pound cat. He lays around, he sleeps, he doesn't really do much, but and when you don't fill his bowl, because like he thinks, even if there's food in his bowl and he can see the bottom of the bowl, he thinks you're trying to starve him. So he will like come get right in your face and meow and give you kisses until you get up and fill the bowl to where there's, you know, not any white space showing. So they're really awesome cats. My puppy dogs, they like to be outside. I'll try to throw some pictures in of them too because I talk about them pretty often. We have Gizmo, who is a purebred Chihuahua. He's my little man. And then we also have a Dachshund Pug mix, Leroy, and that's kind of my husband's dog. So kind of off the animal tangent and back to here. But I printed off, that kind of shows a little bit of the pattern, but I printed off the pages for the ebook. And I just put them all in plastic sleeves. I like putting patterns in plastic sleeves because if you need to make any notations, you can use a dry erase marker or even the wet erase markers, and you can draw right on the plastic sleeve so you can keep track of what row you're on. And then once you're finished, all you have to do is take like Windex or some water and a paper towel and wipe it right off. And there's no residue or anything left on the plastic sheet protector. So I really like to do that. My other enhancement, so I had a friend come visit last week and she's kind of gotten more into like drawing and things, and she was showing me her pen collection because I also have an office supply obsession that's pretty bad, and you probably don't want to see the amount of pens that I own. But she had an awesome pen case. Well, of course, first thing I think of is crochet hooks. So I went to another store, another big box craft store, and I got the case. So it's nice. It's probably, I don't know, 6 inches by 8 inches. I could be really off, but I mean, I have small hands, but it's not really that big. And it's awesome. So when you open it up, it has these 2, let me scoot it back so I'm trying to get, oops, let's go this way. Okay, so these are all the pen holders, but I use the crochet hooks with the bamboo, this side, with the bamboo handles. It just doesn't hurt my hands as much to crochet. So the bamboo sticks in the little pen holders and they don't move. And then on this side, I have my Knit Picks interchangeable set, which is, they all stick in there really nice. I don't have to worry about any of them falling out. And then if you go back another page, it has more loops. And on this side, you can't really tell. Oh, there we go. I have my cables kind of thread through on that side. And then I flip the other direction and I have my scissors over here. Oops. This direction thing throws me off. I have some of my smaller scissors in here because you can never have too many pairs of scissors when you're working on a project. And then on this side, I have my regular just metal hooks in these slots. And like these are my bees and all my super little ones. So like 4 of those hooks fit in one slot. So of course, you know, I don't have to worry about anything falling out. So that was an awesome find. I also, I spent a lot of time on Instagram, and I follow, wow, I just went brain dead, Rainstorm Studios on Instagram. She's Willow Rose with a couple numbers at the end, which I don't remember off the top of my head. And I saw this amazing bag that she posted, and she said that she had been working on some prototypes for some new designs to put in her shop. And so of course, what do? I go to Etsy and I message her and see when that bag's going to be available. She is so amazing to work with. It was a bag that, it was fabric she bought a couple years ago. She didn't know how much she had left. She went digging through. She found that she still had a little bit left because she wanted one of those bags. And she sold me that bag, the prototype, that day. Got it shipped out. Should be here before I podcast next week. It'll probably be here tomorrow or on Tuesday. So I'll definitely be able to show that to you guys next week. Yeah, if you need project bags, head on over to Rainstorm Studios on Etsy. She has amazing customer service. I mean, the first bag that I ordered from her, the panda bag that I've been showing off, I wanted a specific fabric and we found it, and she ordered it like within 30 minutes of me saying, hey, this is the fabric I like, and she did a complete custom bag. So I definitely encourage you to hop on over to Etsy and look through her shop. Sorry, just kind of scanning through my notes. One other thing that I really want to work on this week, you know, I've been talking about these socks that I've been working on. Well, they've been sitting in the project bag for like 2-3 weeks now because that heel's kind of been a little bit intimidating. But I decided that I'm going to use the Fish Lips Kiss heel. A bunch of the ladies in my knit group have really encouraged that heel. A lot of them have used it and really liked it. So I got the pattern, and this is where I'm hoping that y'all will hold me accountable. I really want to have this heel done to show you guys next week. I haven't worked on these socks in 3 weeks, and it's one of those projects that I want to be done so bad because I want to wear my first pair of hand knit socks, but I really need to get over that heel issue. So if you have any encouraging words, any, I don't know, suggestions to work past the heel, feel free to pop on over to the Ravelry group because I need all the encouragement I can get, because for some reason I'm normally not intimidated by patterns. I can normally pick up something, run with it and go, but for some reason this heel is like super intimidating and I don't want to mess up the entire sock and have to start over. I may try to put a lifeline in just to be on the safe side. Haven't ever done that before. So that may be a test too. But I really want to work past this because I think socks are something that I really want to work on this year. So yeah, hold me accountable. Make sure I show you that heel next week. I'm hoping by telling y'all this that I will make myself work on that and get that heel down. So I've got that going. I have a couple other works in progresses, but I haven't really touched them, like the baby blanket. I kind of work on the baby blanket. It's a corner to corner, just kind of when I don't have other things to work on. So, and of course you can tell I've got this birthday project I really need to get done. And also one of my naps, my needle adjacent projects, is going to be it's a hat, but like the headband portion here is going to be knit with a cable across it. And then the actual hat part is going to be crochet. So I haven't really worked on a project that's knit and crochet together, so I'm interested in with that. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get this shawl done in the next couple days, and then that hat's next on to be started. I'm actually helping out Love Knots with getting that one finished up. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be working on this week. I go back to the doctors this week, hopefully get some answers. So that kind of brings me to the little about me section. I'm kind of done with all my crafting stuff, so if you don't want to stick around and hear a little bit about me, which is kind of my favorite part of other people's podcast, feel free to tune in next week. But if you want to learn a little about me and my personal life, feel free to stick around. So I figured I'd start off with letting you guys know a little bit about me. Like I said earlier, I love learning more kind of about the personal side of people that I watch their podcast with. It just kind of makes it a little bit more well-rounded and you get to know the person a little bit better. So, I've been married for 8 years. Met the best man ever when I think I was like 15, right around there when we met. He gave me a promise ring with a dozen red roses that he had his mom deliver to me because he was off at college. When I was 16 when he gave me the promise ring. We're like 16 months apart, but we're 2 years apart in school. So he was a freshman in college, and he had his mom deliver me the most beautiful dozen red roses. And so that was super cute. My mom and his mom came and gave them to me at the same time, so that made it super special. He proposed Christmas Eve. I had just turned 18. My birthday's in December. So I was 18 for like 2 weeks. We decided, we had been together about 2 years, so it was kind of one of those, we'll do Christmas Eve with your family, and then you can come hang out with us for Christmas Day. So we were kind of already splitting the holidays. So Christmas Eve, I went over to his house. We went over to some of his other family. And after we did all the gift exchange and everything, he got off the couch down on one knee and proposed in front of most of his family on Christmas Eve. And of course I said yes. So that kind of led to, okay, when are we going to get married? I was a senior in high school, so everyone thought we were crazy. But I loved it. It's kind of one of those things, once you know who you want to be with, and I just kind of knew, like, we both knew that we wanted to be with each other. So that was super precious. And we kind of have family kind of all over the country at that time. And I was graduating high school. I graduated valedictorian, so I was giving a speech at graduation, so I had family coming in. A little bit of Randy's family was coming in to watch my graduation and my speech, and so we just kind of decided, why not do everything in one weekend. We were looking at saving other people money for only having to travel in once, so we were a little crazy. We got married on Friday. I graduated high school that Saturday, and I moved in with Randy in our college town that we were going to go to that Sunday. So it was a super, super packed weekend. But like I said, we've been married for 8 years now. It's been the best 8 years of my life. He's super supportive. He gives me the hardest time about crocheting and always having yarn or buying more yarn or whatnot. But he is, in the back of his head, he's super supportive. We love going to flea markets. So we have a ton of flea markets around the area where we live here in Central Arkansas, and about once or twice a month on a weekend we'll just make the circle and we'll go hit all the flea markets. It's just kind of something, we love to look at all the different things that are out there, and there's one that's really big, and so occasionally we'll just kind of split off from each other and kind of walk around and look, and he's forever finding me yarn or crochet thread at the flea markets. And of course, you can't pass up an amazing deal. So no matter how much of a hard time he gives me, he really is super supportive. I'm going to try to say just a little bit about me at the end of each episode. So I kind of figured, starting with my amazing husband and our marriage, I kind of figured we'd start there. And if there's a certain aspect of my life you want to learn about, hop on over into the Ravelry group and ask the question there. I'll more than happily share with you guys. I'm a pretty open book, so just let me know what you want to know. But if I don't have questions, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about little things here and there that's happening in my day-to-day life. But with that, I think I've got everything out that I wanted to let you know. I kind of like to keep my podcast a little bit shorter. So yeah, I think that brings me to the end. So thanks for watching and keep on stitching, y'all.